Greetings, everyone. Tarot from the Divine here. And today we are doing Lessons and Blessings. And yesterday's was kind of, let's get this up so that you can kind of see the whole thing. Okay. Yeah, that should work. Okay. So yesterday, it was kind of chunky along, and it didn't quite mesh too good. So today I'm going to try something different. We're going to do each position as the lesson and the blessing. Now, Kitty, you can't come over here. Go over there. So we may be interrupted by the kitten. I'm going to try and keep that from happening, but I can't guarantee anything. Anyway, so we're going to do each position with both decks instead of doing one deck and going through like I usually do. Now, stop that. Get over there. Go. Go on. Go find it. All right. So, let's see here. So to start off with, we're going to do the lesson, and we're going to do the 10-card spread or the Celtic cross. So that's, fairly easy to follow, and it's going to be the question is going to be, what does the collective need to know at this time? Okay. And what lessons and what blessings. And you can also break it down to, the karmics, or your karmic choices, or the negative and positive aspect. There's all different types of ways to do this. And where did you put it? Over here. So, yeah, she's wanting to play. She hears me start the recorder and she wants to play. So, all right, so the first card, and we're going to do what we do all the time. Yeah, we'll do it that way. And then this deck. Okay, then we're going to split this deck. So we're going to take a little bit of time with this. It may run a little longer than my videos usually do. So I hope you're good with that. And let's see what we get. So the first card is the present circumstance. And it's the Knight of Wands. Now the Knight is sort of like a teenage spirit. They're immature. They have a lot of energy. And then with the Wands, they're, dealing with creativity, goals, and passions. Could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And this is the challenge in this position of the present circumstance. It's Bathan and teaches the values of herbs and stones, transports anyone suddenly from one place to another. Now, the challenge in this could be, you may be wanting to do this, but there's always a price to pay. All right. Now the blessing in this, or the positive, or the alternative choice you could make, is the Eight of Pentacles. Now the Eight of Pentacles is, reaping your harvest, It's material, it's anything material, and so you are sort of like reaping the rewards of what you've sown. And it's Lekabel, it's God the teacher, intellectual talent, and provides knowledge. Okay, so when you are reaping your rewards, of course you're gaining knowledge. All right, so you've got the Knight of Wands here. That is, they may have a new idea or a creativity or passion, and they want to get going on this. The Eight of Pentacles, that could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, doesn't have to be. And it's material things, where Wands is goals, creativity, and passions. Okay? So you're reaping your rewards, so something may come in to want you to pursue a new goal or something, which will require you to invest some of your pentacles in this. Move. No. Okay, the crossing card is Justice, which is Astaroth. Tells how the angels fell, reveals the past, present, and future, and teaches the liberal science. So if you want to know information, you would ask this Astaroth. Okay? But again, there's always a price. Any information they impart will require a payment of some sort. Okay, usually in the form of a contract. And then we have the star, Vasaria, which is God the Just. Clemency and equilibrium, protects against attacks in the courts. So, Astaroth is gives you information, and it's justice, but it's sort of a perverted justice, because, he is a demon, and this is an angel. And the star, if you're just going by the tarot, justice is about, decisions, balance, and legal affairs. And then the stars protects against attacks in the courts. So this information may get you into some sort of a legal situation. So be careful of what you ask. The price could be some sort of a legal situation so that you learn the lesson. Or the star gets you out of legal situations and you have the choice to receive the information or not before you sign the contract. Okay? Now, the basis of the situation is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is despair, disappointment. I think how you pronounce this is Zaim, I'm not sure. Reveals secrets and increases one's intellect. Spreads destruction by fire. So you may be at the basis of the situation, there's some despair going on. And you have the Four of Pentacles, which is wanting to maintain what you have, hold on to your current position. And when you're in despair, sometimes something comes to you and it sounds good and you just want to get out of this feeling, so you will invest in the Pentacles, which is up here. Eight of Pentacles, Justice, and the Star. You may, something may come along that wants you to invest in it. And it could cause you some despair. In the past, we have the Four of Cups, which is someone is dissatisfied with their current situation. Emotionally, they're not emotionally invested any longer. Shax steals or fetches anything requested, including money and horses. Reveals secret things, brings questionable familiars. So you may be tempted to utilize this type of a spirit because you're bored with what you've got and you want more, or you want something different. And this is, well, I can go get you whatever you want, but there's a price. And then we have the Five of Wands, which is Ha'ia, God listening in concealment. Now, the Five of Wands is typically conflict. Okay, you're in conflict over, some sort of a goal, or a passion. Could be in fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And it's politics and ambition, wins judgments and protects all those who seek the truth. Now, let me tell you something else about this. Angels teach lessons as well. Okay, that's why it's lessons and blessings. I mean, this is the karmic part of it. This, Four of Cups, you might want something more. But then if you choose the Five of Wands, there could be some conflict, and you will receive a lesson out of that as well. But the blessing would be that you are being protected if you're seeking the truth. But there's, people don't want you to know the truth, and then there's conflict there. So that's past. So you may have been seeking the truth on something, and you may have been bored, and so you may have started, getting something and seeking the truth on something, and it caused a conflict, and your present situation, now you're in despair because you were in this conflict, and you're trying to hold on to what you have with the Four of Pentacles, okay? Do you see how this is starting to come together? So now we have the Chariot for the lesson. Sower of discord, slayer of men. This came out yesterday as well. And it's Andras. All right, now this is in the future. So the Chariot could be, it could actually even mean, travel, trying to get away. There's progress or determination. So there could be progress on this seeking of the truth. But you also may have to get away for some reason. Or you may have to travel. Or, something bad could be traveling towards you. Then we have the Magician, which is Nithaiya, which is the generous god. Spiritual wisdom and magic, helps one gain wisdom and discover hidden secrets. So manifestation. Now, if you are in this, if you've been you're in the despair and you're trying to manifest out of it, then you may be assisted by the angels, but you also have to deal with anything you've done in the past, which is the karmic side of it. Okay, it's kind of complicated, between the angels and the demons. But just know that each one of these demons, while the angel, its actual angel isn't showing up. There is, for every demon, there is an angel that oversees it, okay? That can put it back to hell if it gets up here on earth and it starts creating too much damage. And you have to ask for that angel. You know, you have to find out which angel it is that oversees which demon, and then, you know, you pray or do whatever, and you command that angel to send that demon back to hell. You know, where they have to start over and they have to come back as a karmic and all of that, because a lot of your demons are karmics, okay? Not saying that every karmic in your life is a demon, but they are probably influenced by them somehow. And that's how they get to be karmics. People don't understand that. When they want to come back as a karmic so that they can get even with somebody that did something to them, or they want to teach them a lesson. Well, in doing so, they have to be careful, because in doing so, they reap karma for themselves, and then they have to suffer that karma for giving that person a lesson, and, you know, then they have to decide, was it all really worth it, and all of that. I mean, I'm probably getting a little too deep for y'all, but I'm just trying to show you kind of how it all works. So here we've got the Four of Cups. Now this is the goal or destiny position, Four of Cups. Okay, that's the angel position. Okay. So for the challenge position, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Fate. Okay. Valak tells where treasures are hidden, reveals hidden dangers. Okay. But it's the Wheel of Fortune, it's fate. So if they tell you of these things, it all sounds well and good and all of that, but sometimes the fortunes that we seek are not the fortunes we're supposed to know about. And that can turn fate against us, because it changes our course. It changes our direction, changes our path, which is what all of these are trying to do. They're trying to get us off of our path and they tempt us with things like this. You know, I can tell you where all the treasures are hidden, and I can, you know, I can grant you 3 wishes, and I can do all of this, you know. And that's fine to have the knowledge, but once you have knowledge, then that can change your course, your path, your life path, and take you away from what you're supposed to be doing. You may be off chasing treasure instead of doing what you were put on this earth to do. And then we have the Four of Cups, which the God deflecting evil, healing capacity, protection from weapons, safety in travel. Okay. Now this angel may let you pursue this, because they're going to teach you a lesson, because the Four of Cups is dissatisfaction, boredom. You've got too much structure and stability. You feel stuck in your structure and stability, so you want to do something different. And these angels are here, but they're going to let you go through this as a lesson. Okay? They cannot interfere until you ask them to. Okay? So you can't go through life going, oh, this angel's going to protect me from this. No, you have to ask this angel to protect you from this. You know? This is just the choices that we have in each position. Now, your current thoughts collective is in the hermit mode, Furcus, which that's totally understandable, because you're in despair. You've got this choice coming up. The Chariot, you've got this sower of discord and slayer of men going on coming up, where, you were bored and you could have accidentally brought this on. And now you don't know what to do about it. And so you're going to try and manifest with the Magician, which could bring about a fated event and further dissatisfaction. So some of you are going into hermit mode. Teaches philosophy, astrology, rhetoric, logic, palm reading, and divination and fire. Okay, so you're going to do some self-introspection. And with the Three of Cups, that's typically celebration with, close family or friends. The right hand of God, fame and renown, influence and commerce, voyages and great discoveries. So, you've got the Hermit, you want to go into hermit mode, but, you've got some people here wanting to celebrate or go out and party, and you want to be in hermit mode. So there's a choice for you. You're going to have to make a choice. Am I going to stay in hermit mode? Am I going to do some self-introspection? Or am I going to go out and party with my friends and possibly bring about this fate? And this, your partying could bring some of that about. The surrounding energy is strength. Vine builds towers or destroys stone walls, causes rough waters, finds witches. Now the Strength card is, your inner strength, your inner resolve, and you have a choice. I mean, it could be a lesson, but you're asking for inner strength. Okay? And the Seven of Swords is Manakel, is the blessing. Knowledge of good and evil, appeases divine anger, cures epilepsy. And the Seven of Swords, however, though, is the thief. So, in order to attain this, do you have to steal it? Knowledge of good and evil. So, with the Seven of Swords, this angel is going to know whether you are stealing. You may be stealing strength from someone, making you an energy vampire. For the inner thoughts is the Ace of Cups. Now the Ace of Cups could be a new love opportunity. Someone new may be coming in. Teaches philosophy and uses of herbs. Heals all diseases and disorders. Brings good familiars. So this could be someone who you're attracted to because they're teaching philosophy and they sound really good, and it's boor. But again, it comes at a price. And here is the Strength card on the Blessings side of Strength. It's Hakamiya. Loyalty, delivery from those who seek to oppress, brings victory. So your inner thoughts are, do I go with this Ace of Cups with this new person possibly coming into my life? They sound good. They're teaching philosophy and uses of herbs. They could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Emotions, relationships, and spiritual matters. But do I have the strength to know, they teach philosophy, but philosophy is, like their point of view. And do you have the strength to maintain your own point of view? And then for the final outcome, we have the King of Wands, which is Asmodeus. Makes men fly into passionate rage and desire. Destroys the happiness of married couples. Wastes the beauty of virgins. Reveals the future. Okay, so a King of Wands could be this Ace of Cups coming in. Wastes the beauty of virgins. Destroys the happiness of married couples. So if you're in a relationship and this person shows up, they're here to destroy your marriage. They're here to, they're here to destroy your current relationship. So now this is all being revealed, okay? And we have the Hierophant, which is lessons, unity, marriage, and education. The merciful God. Divine forgiveness, obtains friendship, and favors of the great, secures promises. So there could be a third party involved here. If not for you, then for your partner. And they're going to be attracted to them, and this person is going to try to break up your relationship. And the Hierophant is here. You can choose the Hierophant, which is marriage and may be able to save your marriage, forgiveness. So someone in this relationship is going to need forgiveness because they are going to get involved with this Ace of Cups. It's your inner thoughts, and you're going to need the strength to be able to give them forgiveness and if the marriage can go on or not, because they got bored. See, this may not even be you. This may be someone in your life. This may be your partner. They got bored with their life, so they called upon whatever, and now they are in despair. They've got themselves in a real pickle with Andros here. And now they've got the fate of what they've been doing. And now they want to go into hermit mode because they're scared. They don't know what to do. But they also want to go out and party. And strength in the devil card, or in the as the demon, that strength may cause them to go further into hermit mode and to be attracted to this person, and then that person's going to try and destroy your relationship. So that's the reading. I hope it makes sense. Please let me know how you like these, or if I'm not making any sense to you, if it's too complicated, and I'll try and break it down a different way. Thank you all for watching my videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. Hit the notification bell on the way out. It really does help the channel. And hey, until next time, have a great day.